Jai Hind students. Today we will begin our third chapter, which is understanding quadrilaterals. In morning class, we discussed all these terms. First heading is what do you mean by simple curve or simple curve? So when you join a number of points, there are number of points you can see on this page. When you join a number of points without lifting a pencil from the paper, without retracing any portion of the drawing, we get a simple curve. And if we draw a curve where we retrace the portion of the drawing, it is not a simple curve. So the condition is it must not cross itself. And second thing is, when this simple curve is closed, you can see here it is now, here it is closed, so it is called simple closed curve. You can see this is closed. Now we will see some diagrams where we have to select which one is closed, which one is open, which one is simple curve, which one is not simple curve. So you have the first diagram, this is, and you know what, this is a simple curve which is not closed. We have another diagram, you can see this is not a simple curve because it is crossed here, but it is closed. We have a circle, and see, circle is a simple curve and it is also closed, so it is a simple and a closed curve. We have this diagram, this time it is a closed curve but not a simple curve. So closed but not simple, not simple. So by means of this definition and application, we are going to define polygons. In the definition of polygons, we are given a simple closed curve. This is C, do not get confused. A simple closed curve made up of only line segments is called a polygon. So simple curve means which doesn't cross itself, but it must be closed. So it is closed, but it must be made up of only line segment. And what do you mean by line segment? Line segment is a part of a line, means this AB is the line segment. So you can see line segment follows the property of line. It means it is also straight. So a curve which is made of line segments and which is closed is called a polygon. Polygon. You can see here it is closed and it is made up of line segments, which is AB, BC and AC. Here this curve is not closed, this is not polygon, it is closed, but it is not made up of the line segment. This is a closed simple curve and this is a polygon which is made up of line segment. If I draw like this diagram, you can say, sir, there are line segments in this diagram, but remember this is not a simple curve. Here at this point it crosses itself, and that is why it is not a polygon. So polygon must be made up of simple curve. Second case is, here I am writing the case, curve must be simple, made up of line segment. Third is it must be closed. These three conditions give the definition of polygon. I hope you can understand this thing now. Now we will see the classification of polygons. Polygons are classified on the basis of number of sides. So if in a polygon there are 3 sides, it is called triangle. Three sides, it is called triangle. There must be three sides at least to form a polygon, because you can see these are two line segments, but we can't close without use of another line segment, so we need another line segment here and it becomes a triangle. Same as we have, if we have four sides, it is called quadrilateral. You can see it is a quadrilateral which has a four sides, 1 2 3 and 4. For 5 sides it is called pentagon. You can see there is a pentagon. If there are 6 sides in a polygon, it is called hexagon. It is a hexagon. If there are 7 sides in a polygon, it is called heptagon. If there are 8 sides, it is called octagon. If it has 9 sides, it means it is a nonagon, and if it has 10 sides, it is called decagon. So by this means polygons are known in application of mathematics. You can see the definition of diagonals is: a diagonal is a line segment connecting two non-consecutive vertices of a polygon. So first, what do you mean by consecutive vertices? You can see it is A, B, C, D. So in this polygon, A and B are consecutive vertices. Just after A we get B, just after A we get D. So for A, B and D are consecutive vertices. For B, A and C are consecutive vertices. So BC and BA are the pair for the. So we can see here, for this point A, C is not a consecutive vertex. So what to do? Add these 2 points by means of a line segment, and this line segment is called a diagonal. And you can see for point B, D is a non-consecutive vertex, so we add B and D, we get another diagonal. In case of a triangle, you can see it is also a diagonal. In case of triangle, you can see it is A, B, C. 3 vertices are there, and A and B are consecutive. Just after A we get B, and if we select C as a non-consecutive vertex, you can see it is consecutive for A then C. There must be a gap of at least 1. So we can see that there is not any diagonal in this triangle. In case of this hexagon, 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are 6 sides. So F and D are non-consecutive vertices, so meet them. F and C are non-consecutive vertices, meet them. B and non-consecutive vertices, add them to. Here from E it is E and C, and it is B and E, and it is B and E and A. And from D it is B and D, and it is A and D. And from C it is A and C, and okay, 9 diagonals are here. So these are called diagonals. Here on your screen you can see there is a closed curve. This area which is closed by the curve is called the interior. And this is the boundary of the interior. This curve is the boundary of the interior, and this is the exterior of the closed curve. On the basis of this exterior and the interior region, we have another classification of polygon, which is convex polygon and concave polygon. See, in this polygon, diagonals lie inside the polygon. You can see there is no portion of diagonals in their exterior, but in another case you can see we have another quadrilateral first, second, third, fourth sides are given, and this is the diagonal first and this is the diagonal second, because these are not the consecutive points, and these diagonals lie outside the interior. It means it lies in the exterior. All the polygons who have diagonals in their exterior, or the parts of the diagonals are given in exterior, these are called concave, and polygons which have diagonals in the interior of the polygons, they are called convex polygon. Now we have to discuss regular and irregular polygons. Here we have regular polygons and irregular polygons. Regular polygons have a property. A regular polygon is both equiangular and equilateral. If you have a triangle, and all the sides of the triangles are equal, then this is a regular polygon, and this is a equilateral triangle too, you know that, but it is called a regular polygon. And all the angles of this polygon are equal, and you can draw the triangle in this case too, and this time this is not a regular polygon, it is called irregular polygon. If we draw a square, all the sides of a square and all the angles of a square are equal, so it is again a regular polygon. And all the rectangles, all the polygons except this square are irregular polygons. In geometry, if you get sign this, or if you get this sign, it means it shows that these sides are equal. Okay, so do not get confused if you get double cross or single cross somewhere. Now let's discuss angle sum property, and first it is for triangle. In our previous classes we came to know that sum of measures of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. This is a triangle ABC, and you know what, sum of all these angles means angle A plus angle B and plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. What if we extend this idea for a quadrilateral? So we have a quadrilateral here, just a quadrilateral A, B, C and D. Okay, now AC is a diagonal in this quadrilateral. Clearly you can see now this quadrilateral is divided into two triangles, first and second. You can see that. And you know what, sum of internal angles of this triangle is 180 degree, and sum of internal angles of second triangle is also 180 degree. So the total internal the sum of internal angles of this is, so the sum of internal angles of this quadrilateral is 360. You can write here sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360. All the internal angles gives the sum of 360 degree in case of a quadrilateral. Actually we have a formula here by which we can define sum of internal angles of a polygon. So the formula is sum of interior angles of polygon is equal to n minus 2 into 180. Here n is number of sides and you can implement this formula for in case of triangle and in case of quadrilateral too. When you put number of sides from quadrilateral, 4 here, 4 minus 2 becomes 2, and 18 to the 36 means 180 to the 360. Note this formula. You will use this formula in many questions here in this exercise, and this formula came from the observation of the results of few polygons. And consider one thing, in case of a regular polygon we can consider the angles of the polygon. How? In a regular polygon, we know all the sides and angles are same there. Consider for the square, it is a square and all the sides and all the angles are equal. And if you have to find an angle of the polygon, then what to do? You have to divide the sum of interior angles by the number of angles. And you know what sum of the angles is? N minus 2 into 180. And when you divide this by number of angles, and here number of angles is equal to number of sides. So again write here n. This formula gives you the measurement of an angle of a regular polygon. Now we will solve our exercise 3.1.